Hi guys, sorry I haven't updated in a while, but there's been a couple of things going on. So baby number 2, Charlie's my baby number 1. Baby number 2 has been difficult at nearly every scan. So we went for the what I thought was the 8-week scan in March, and baby only turned out to be 5 weeks. So there was no heartbeat yet, and they could only find a tiny little hue. So I'll show you the picture of that one. It's only a really tiny little dot here. And then 2 weeks later, we went for our next scan, so that's scan number 2, and baby was measuring at 7 weeks and 4 days. So there's the 7-week and 4-day one. So then I'm now currently 13 weeks and 1 day pregnant, and I just went for my scan now, and I shall show you the picture that they took. So baby's measuring 13 weeks and 1 day. So symptoms from 7 weeks to 13 weeks. I'm sorry it's been so long, but the symptoms I've had are irritable bowel syndrome. I tend to get this in pregnancy, and it's either irritable bowel or constipation. So sometimes I'm in the toilet quite a lot. I haven't been sleeping very well, but neither has Charlie, so that doesn't help. I'm not very comfortable in bed at the moment. I'm tossing and turning. And also this scan that I've just had with baby number 2 has shown that I have an anterior placenta. Now, after researching anterior placentas, I don't think at this stage there's much cause for concern. I have read though that C-section babies, which is another thing, I have an elective C-section for this baby. It'll be around the end of October or the beginning of November. Now, my midwife and I talked about this, and if you don't know my story from my first child, Charlie, so the story goes, Charlie was born on the 24th of January, and I was actually admitted the 22nd of January. I was induced twice over those days, and then on a very early morning, about 1 a.m, 2 a.m, early morning. This is Chloe. I'll show you Chloe. She's come to say hello. Say hi, Chloe. Hi, Chloe. There you go. Okay, go. Okay, so Chloe said hi. So on the 24th of January at 2 a.m, Charlie was in fetal distress. So he was an emergency C-section, and he was born at 3:29 a.m. on the 24th of January. He was then put in SCBU, which I know for the American viewers is NICU, N-I-C-U, but in New Zealand it's SCBU. So my midwife and I talked last week, and we've decided that an elective C-section is the way to go. Also, exactly a month, so February the 24th, 2014, so that's exactly a month after my C-section, it got infected. So Charlie and I were up in the orthopedic unit. He was a month old, and I was getting treated for a septic C-section scar. So that was no fun, but the staff there are wonderful. The SCBU staff were wonderful. The nurses were wonderful. The orthopedic staff were wonderful. They'd said that they don't really get to see many small babies, like 4 weeks old babies in there, so they all had a lovely little cuddle. And yeah, so that's why I've decided to have an elective C-section this time. Baby's heart rate on this, this is my 4th scan. So last week I was 12 weeks, and that's the NT scan. So that's the Down syndrome trisomy 21 scan, and they measure the fluid between the spine and the neck. Now last week baby just wouldn't cooperate, so I had to go back this week, which was 13 weeks and 1 day. They got the measurements, so that's good, so I'll tell you the results for that later. It's also accompanied with a blood test, and I did the blood test last week at 12 weeks and 1 day, and then today they finally got the measurement, so that's all good. Charlie's doing really well. He's cuddling baby every night. He knows where baby is. I show him the pictures, and he knows that, baby loves him and he loves baby. He's also got a little cousin that is, funny enough, I'm 13 weeks and his little cousin is 13 weeks born. So he absolutely loves her. He gives her hugs all the time, every time he sees her. So he's going to smother this one with love. I can just already tell he's a very kind, compassionate child. And when he attends daycare, he loves being with the babies in there too. So yeah, that's the 7 week to 13 week update. I'm sorry it's been so long since I've talked to you, but everything's good. I'll insert a belly shot soon. And make sure you subscribe and you thumbs up. I've got a couple of thumbs up, so 6 subscribers. I started with 1, so that's quite nice. And I love to hear your comments and your questions. If you have any questions about Charlie's C-section or why I've decided to do this C-section, you're more than welcome to ask. I'll answer as many questions as I can. If you have any advice on anterior placentas, which I've got the babies attached at the front of my uterus, if you have any information on that and to do with C-sections, that would be really great, because I'm not finding much information, unfortunately, on anterior placentas and C-sections, so that would be good. So I'll see you later, and remember, this is Lizzie's life. Bye.